He's got a great smile, wonderful personality, and actually the energy of that guy is incredible.
I can honestly say that in the last half century of healthcare, he's probably one of the great leaders of our time.
He really attached himself to the mission of what we were trying to do, and that is to care for people who otherwise would not be cared for.
I met Michael many years ago in the mid-90s when he came in like a tornado to Johns Hopkins, and those of you who know him know about that style.
When I went to my first board meeting on my first job, my first month on the job at the DC Hospital Association, Mike was one of just a group of board members. And board meetings are sort of dull and you go through the minutes and all that sort of stuff. I realized Mike was a force of nature. He was totally different from pretty much everybody else in the room. And I remember when I walked out of the room saying, who is this guy?
When he's determined that you can do something, he is absolutely driven to make you believe it. And that is one of my experiences with Mike, because he believed in me and what I was capable of doing.
Several things come to mind in thinking about when I first met him. One was his deep commitment to those who were underserved medically here in the district, and his knowledge base of that, both their needs and as we were developing the Healthcare for the Homeless project, his understanding of what that should look like.
So with Unity Healthcare, the district, through some challenges through the federal court system, was forced to unload St. Elizabeth's facility, and overnight the streets were flooded with a very challenging population with persistent mental health issues and other challenges.
So Michael, in his role at GW, was able to get us such things as physicians going to our shelters to provide specialty care and sometimes primary care. So Michael, never stopped advocating for us with GW and indeed with the city.
I think few people really appreciate the impact Michael's had on the entire Washington metropolitan region, if not nationally.
Mike became very involved in things like healthcare for the homeless. He became involved in things like what to do with the AIDS epidemic, which hit in the late 1980s. And I think he realized that those things that affected the community were really affecting every hospital, whether it was daily or whether it was sort of long-term.
Michael likes to make things fun, and so it's work very, very, very hard, but also have a very, very good time.
Mike is probably one of the fastest drivers in the district and in Maryland. I went into his car several times and I was scared. And I said, Mike, this is just like you. I said, you apply your risk-taking from your business to your driving, but please don't include me in it.
I wanted to thank you very much for all you taught me. And I wanted to also remind you, by the way, that you told me 6 years ago that the next time we ride our motorcycles together, you were going to bring all of your chef friends to ride with us, and all the great meals we were going to have. So I'm still waiting, Barch, for that invitation and hope that it will be coming soon.
I would never ride with him on a motorcycle, I can assure you of that.
When I think of Mike, I think of someone that I'm grateful for, and I think this city ought to be grateful for. So I would be saying that to Mike if I were standing next to Mike now. I'd be telling him how grateful we all are for him and for all he's brought to DC.
Most of the residents that worked under Michael have gone on to become CEOs and executives around the healthcare system across the United States. And so on behalf of all of those colleagues and peers who were started as students, ended up as colleagues, and continued as friends, we want to thank Michael for all that he did. And as a personal note for me, really enjoyed his mentorship, his camaraderie, his friendship, and consider him a friend to this day. So we love you, Michael, and you deserve this award.